Beg your pardon. Okay, so good evening, class. We are starting the session 2 of this entire training. So, what we are going to cover here is I'll just give you a brief idea about the training, how we are going to do it, and then how we have divided the overall training. So this training is essentially we will learn Java because Java is very popular and it gives the very basic a good foundation of any programming language, and there are a lot of jobs in Java. So whenever we need a job, Java developer openings are huge. So it's easy money basically. Uh, so it's a must have kind of as a programming language. Then we are going to learn basically the mean stack as a full stack framework. Mean, so what is the full form of mean? Mean stack is very popular while when we are doing the web development. So let's try each word. So web application need a UI which is Angular, JS, of course, JavaScript. And then Node is the server, which is again in the JavaScript. So same thing, whatever is in UI, that goes into the middleware, which is Node. Now Node has all the dependencies, whatever we need to, run your application, RESTful web services, everything. So Node would be the basic stuff, but the specific framework, web framework on top of Node, we would be using Express. So this will help us to create the RESTful APIs. APIs means the user login API. If you have to pass the user and see if it is successful or not, if the user is in the system means if it is in the database. Otherwise, you will say, okay, user does not exist. Error message will come and show. So this everything will be taken care by the micro web framework, which is Express. And MongoDB is the database, which is again the JavaScript database. So in main stack, everything this is JavaScript. So now we'll divide some sessions. So probably we will take 7 sessions on Java. We can reduce it based on time, or we can extend our training period. Let's see. We'll take 2 to 3 sessions probably on the basic concepts of JavaScript, get element by ID, or maybe what is jQuery, what is prototyping in JavaScript, how to do basic debugging or run it into the Chrome web developer toolbar and everything. So we'll cover basic JavaScript, then we'll start covering the Mongo database, because once your database is there, then you can connect it with the node, and node once your node basic APIs are there, then you can start connecting it with your UI, which would be your Angular JS. And in Angular, you might need some exposure to Bootstrap. It's a framework basically. So CSS and then HTML5. And with Bootstrap, you will connect everything in Angular. And that's how we are going to create our application. So roughly we have a month or maybe 30 sessions overall, and we can add and subtract. But on top of all this, whenever we are doing code, we have to put it somewhere, right? And so we have to first learn Git, which is topmost session. So there will be 2 sessions, 1 or 2 session about Git. So, do you guys have any idea about what GitHub or source control management is? What that thing is all about?
No, sir. Yeah, yes, we know that it's a collaborative tool where we can pull and push our code.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, in our college days, we just used Git
Mm-hmm.
to push our assignments.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but we hadn't used any bash commands there, so just we have installed Git and we use it to pull and push our code.
Okay, sure. So we are trying to do almost similar thing. You will be trying to do pull and push your code, and then you will be making commits. As we will grow in the training, you will face some conflict problem, and you will become expert in 30 days. That's for sure. First time you will face some problem, then you will start making your commits inside the code, basically whatever. So I'll take you step by step on that. and by end of each week you have to submit one or two assignments I'll give you, and that assignment will be checked or submitted on the GitHub. So we will first quickly go through a 10 to 12 minute session about what Git is, and then we will do practical implementation, and that's how you will start working. So we can also start this way, that we can either start mean stack first and then cover Java, or we can work on parallel, like couple of sessions on the mean stack and then little bit of Java and little mix and match of everything. So how you guys want to go? You want to finish one thing at a time or want to go in parallel?
Yeah, we want to go to one thing at a time. So as Java is 7 sessions, so let's go with Java initially.
Okay. Okay, sure. Sounds like a plan. Sure. So first thing is, as I am doing, you guys are all in front of computers, right? So can you please open this website for me, premasim.wordpress.com. It's a blog. So as soon as you guys open, just let me know so that we can go to next step. So I believe if you might have opened it, you have to search Git inside that. So once you come here, you will find several of these blogs basically, which are related to Git. So inside that, you scroll down, then you go to older posts, you scroll down, then you will find on 14th December 2011 a Git presentation. So click on that link. This would be the link. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, we are able to see your screen.
Okay.
Yes, we are able
Are you guys able to see your, like, are you guys able to open this presentation on your box? Or maybe we
to. Yes, we are able to.
okay, okay. So we'll go through this presentation on my box. Then with the video link, I'm going to send the video link of this training. I'll also send the presentation link of this. So Git is a fast version control system. Uh, so what is the agenda? We'll visualize what is Git, what is Delta storage. We'll understand Git workflow, little bit of Git architecture, branching, merge rebase, dictator model, getting Git repository, Git helps, and then we'll see the actual demo. So to get a job or to work in any industry, of course they will ask which how would whenever you are as a coder, where when you are going to code, how you collaborate your code or where you store the code, and they'll ask some commands. Without knowing this, you cannot probably work in standard or proper IT industry. So this is useful basically, right? So previous, of course they can have some old tools which are not as advanced as Git, but in last 10 years Git is at the top. But still there are some companies which have some older tools like SVN. So as previous tool was SVN, where which was called as center repository. So let's say this is the center repository, and each developer will have the link of the center repository on their station. And once they'll pull from the remote repository, they push. If something get crashed in between, then everything goes down. And another problem was there were too many copies, so it was very slow. But you will not find that thing in the Git once we use it. So even 10,000 users can use it, but SVN was very slow and very bulky, very error prone, and there are lot more. I think since you guys don't have any context about SVN or any history, there is no point in going details of SVN. But in short, Git is awesome. It's the standard, recent industry standard. Spring framework or Node.js framework or Angular, whatever, they are all capped in their code is all capped in the Git. So you have to know how to read that code, how to access those repository, how to fork and everything that we are going to learn in next couple of 2 sessions. Today would be one and another would be two. So we'll get the understanding in terms of also understand the concept, and in the interview question you can question and answer. And third and most important is your practical working experience. So once you get a job proper in proper industry, then you from the day one you should be able to handle it, and for this training purpose also you have to use it. So how does it work basically? So we have delta. So there are a lot of files in the code. Each file, whenever you are trying to add any feature, you are trying to add some code or remove some code. Let's say you are adding one line. For example, you are just adding a login screen to your web application. So that one line or whatever you are trying to add is called as the delta, which means the difference. So what GitHub does is it has some inbuilt capability is saving the differences, and then it pushes only the differences, not the entire file. So previously what happened, or when you're trying to email, let's say if you don't know Git, you try to email. So when today you made something and tomorrow if you add a login page or two more lines, you have to copy paste that entire file or entire folder, zip it and send it. So it becomes very heavy and slow. In older kind of SVM, source code control management system, it was entire copy which was sent. But in Git you only store data or delta, basically whatever is the difference, and Git some underlying, I'll not go in details. Just maybe you might feel bored, I don't know, but that would be extra information at the beginning level. But in advanced level we can discuss object. It has some way to track only the delta, and then it transform it in the binary form, and that binary form is kept it in the object database, which is GitHub's own inbuilt object database, and then it pushes it in very short summary. Now we see as a portability. So GitHub repository, it's distributed, it's not centralized. So please remember this, probably the interview question answer or some quiz or wherever. So it is portable, means whatever Git repository you have in your own computer. Let's say you're trying to make an application, you created a GitHub repository locally first on your laptop. You can keep it in a pen drive, and same repository can be worked on your another computer or desktop, or at your college, or at your company, or at some friend's place. So the huge repository of thousands of file can be compacted in binary format, very simplified, and then it can be kept in just a flash drive and can be distributed. So it is pretty much independent whenever you have to move it. So this was the blobs and storage, GitHub files, object database, which I already covered in last to last slide. So basically you will have some indexes which will have some information about your current working and changes made to it. It would change as the blobs files stored in it, the Git object database with some unique hash code. So I'll let you know what is hash. Once we'll do the commit, you will get one hash code message, and I'll make you understand. Now what happens is, if you will keep your code on your local and you have to share it with me, for example, or if so today is the world of cloud. Everyone wants to keep his stuff on cloud because his laptop might get virus, his laptop might get stolen, or fire or earthquake, whatever. If that happens, then he will lose entire code, and that's not good basically. So what do? They will keep it somewhere in the cloud, that is called as our remote repository. So GitHub is a website which allows you to keep your code inside, like Facebook, right? So if you lose if you're using Facebook from your mobile phone or your laptop, your laptop gets crashed, but still you will have all your pics, videos, and your friends, whatever your network, everything pretty safe on the cloud. I mean on Facebook, which is hosted on cloud. So same thing, the code repository which you create here, somehow you push it into the cloud, and the provider is github.com. GitHub is a, we'll take in the practical sessions, you will understand. So how it works is, first you will make some changes. So whatever, let's say you made changes in the 5 files, and you don't want to have all 5 files, you want to push only 3 files which are good, two are garbage file, you just don't want to keep them. So you will add just those 3 files. So there is a command called as git add and then file name. So you add it in the index. Once you add them, you will make changes, and then you will do a git commit. Minus m means message. And then you, once you commit, it will get committed into the local repository. So each commit will have some message. This is something like, you take your own notes as you study, right? Session 1 you did something, session 1 you did introduction, session 2 you started with git, session 4 you started with java, session 9, let's say, you started with mongo, 12 you started with node, angular, whatever, right? So each session has some something like you're learning or whatever. So you have some, we can relate it as a commit, that you're committing to learn something at every increment when you're studying. Same when you're coding, at each commit you are committing some changes which you have to put it into the local repository, and you have to put a message that I have added the login screen. Second commit would be, I have added the validation on the login screen. Third commit could be, I have returned the controller for the login screen, and I whatever would be the changes. So each change will have each commit, and each commit will have some messages. Once it is ready, then you can push it. Once you test it locally on your laptop, okay, now it is good, I can push it so that my teacher or my manager in your company, whosoever, can should run it or deploy it in the whatever production environment they have, or try it out, different scenario. So you will just push it. As soon as you push the code to the remote origin from where the GitHub repository had started, you can see it on the website. But unless you don't push, everything will remain on the local laptop or your local repository. So this is in nutshell the theory, basically. So this is your working tree, your local sandbox. You add few files, it gets added in the cache first, until and unless you don't commit. So if you will say git reset, everything will be undo. So a control Z, undo, redo, kind of that stuff is here. Once you do a proper commit, the commit will become an object, the delta object which I was talking to you before. And as soon as you do a push, it will go to the remote repository. And as soon as you do the pull, if there are 3 people who are making changes, as soon as you pull, you will get their code in your own repository. So it's collaborative, 3 developers in the team, they are working. So each one of them can pull or push it into, basically, I push something in the git repository, then if you guys pull it, so you will get all my changes on your local box. Then you make those changes on top of that and you push it, then I can pull it and make those changes. There could be some case where you are also making change in the same file where I am making. So once I will push and you will try to pull, that's how the conflict will come, which changes are good, basically. So that is called as conflict resolution. We will cover it later. First we will cover the basic ground, and then we'll cover the git merge conflict and everything. So there is something which is called as git branching. This is very high level slide, so I'll not at this level take this slide. Now in this, this is called as branching. So there is something which is called as the master branch. So in git, what you do is you create your own branch, and inside in your own branch you try to make some changes and do the commit and push on that branch. Once that branch is ready, that feature is kind of okay, tested properly, and it is safe, then we merge it to the master. Why do we do this? Because once something is in progress, it can break other stuff. So until and unless you don't test it properly, check it properly, get it UAT by, so UAT is user acceptance test, UAT by the business people. Business people means, if you are building a software for a transport company or a bank, so bank manager has to run and see, okay, now I'm satisfied, it is functioning So you can say, okay, sir, I have did this thing, it does not have any bugs. But the bank manager says, no, the calculation is wrong, or we want interest on the money calculated some other way, whatever, right? So they are the business people. So even though your code is syntactically correct, but it might not expect the expectation of the customer, whosoever is that customer, finance industry, medical industry, whatever. So you have to get the UAT done at this point in time. Once it is done, then it will go into the master, and that's how we say, okay, now everything is in master. We can do the official release. That's how the this cycle works. As we go more, I'll keep telling, or you can keep asking me question about this. For introductory level, this is good that we work in parallel branch, and once we feel that branch code is stable, we need to release, then we merge it in the master. In short, if someone asks you in interview, so even if you are able to explain branching something like this, he would understand that you know about branching. Now we'll go about multiple repository. Let's skip this multiple repository. Dictator model is, let's also skip this. We'll go to the Git repository, actual repository demonstration. Fine, merge and rebase wheels. So this is these are the commands which where we say git add, git delete, git apply, everything like that. So once I'll share the link, you can see all these commands, and so you have to work on this, because I have seen people who are very good coders, but they don't know how to collaborate their code properly, and they face a lot of issues in Git, and that's how sometimes they also get fired from their own job, because they are able to work whatever technology, but they are not able to push or pull the code properly, and then they end up in the conflicts. They mess up the code entirely, they mix up the code, that creates lot of bugs, and they don't understand how to do it, and then they become panic. And so lot of stuff has happened before, I mean, with some of my friends. So sometime I would help them, sometime they get my help, sometime they don't get help, and then they messed up entire code, and it becomes a problem, because instead of writing or adding value in the code on the first day of your job, you are pulling the code and you are messing it up, and I don't know, like, and they messed up the entire code itself, so the product entirely have stopped working everywhere. So we just want to avoid those things. So this is very important to learn how the coding platform properly. It will take time. I'll just take a few sessions, because we have time constraint, but you have entire day to focus to try out the commands, and be careful to not messing it up. If you don't do anything, that's okay, but if you do something wrong and mess it up, then be careful. We want to avoid that, and we want to add value basically. So we'll go systematically, we'll learn things, and then we'll add value. System should work, and we'll add something more fruitful to the system instead of messing it. So this will be the Git UI. Leave it now. This is like 7-8 years old UI. Now they have very fancy UI. So I'll also take you with that. And there are some helpful links for the training, github.com training online. So in this presentation you will get all these links, so you can see this was by them. This is me here, if you see this guy, and this is my teammates. Okay, thank you for the presentation. So now let us go to our practical stuff, right? So I hope all of you might have created your GitHub account. So please open your GitHub repository and account as you see this. Log into your GitHub account and go to. So here it would be your name, probably Spurti or Naren or Mohan, whatever. So just go there. I'll just wait for some time. Keep your password, user ID, everything handy. So it would be helpful for you. So I'll just give you an example of a repository. So I have different organizations here. One is Art of Living, one is ZenXD, and one is Firehole Lab. So these are basically my clients. For them I work. and I build projects for them basically. So, and this is my own personal repository. So let's try to get into the Firehole Labs. So this is how the repository looks like. So in repository, they have a mean stack project, and then they have a transport project. So we'll just try to look into the transport project. So this is the transport project, and here you see branch. So it has different branches, sprint 1, 2, 3, 4. So whenever they will have some sprint, they will try to add the branches. So we'll go and we'll try to see the branch. So as soon as you change the branch from here, you will see different kind of code. So this is your app.js, this is your API folder. Once you go here, you will see controllers, data, routes, whatever is the code. So this is a driver controller, for example. This is the code with the line number, right? So let's go back. Let's try to see the commits. So there are 13 commits. This is how the commit is going. So this was an initial commit, then API foundation and CRUD operations for driver endpoint has been added, then updated the code to use MongoDB. So this is incrementing, right? Then we have added some user auth endpoints. That's how the code flows with each commit, and each there is a concept called as pull request. I'll also let you know about that in some time. So this is pretty much your repositories. Now we'll come back. Probably I'll just quit from here and go to my own repository here. Okay, so we are here, let's say, right? So that was the organizational repository. Let's try to click on Art of Living Help Desk repository. This is a entire UI project itself, created in JavaScript with some HTML and PHP. Let's go back. Now we'll go to a repository. So meanwhile, can you guys please download GitHub Desktop? GitHub Desktop download. Desktop.github.com. So I'm sure you guys might be on Windows or something, and I believe you should have Windows version available. So when meanwhile I am teaching, you just listen, but please download GitHub Desktop, and how it would look I'll just show you. GitHub Desktop. So it would look something like this. GitHub Desktop. So once you go there, you might have to log in inside it using your login credentials. So let's say once you go there, right, then you will see all the different commits and difference, whatever the commits in green, whatever is in the green, that means it is added. Whatever is in the red, that means it has been removed. So it works that way. Okay, so let's say this file was removed, so it is shown in the red color. Here you see the changes. So we'll just do it practically. That will give you a better idea. Then you have to try it on your local box, and whatever problem you will face, you will try to Google and sort it out. Otherwise, you will let me know and then I'll help you. So I have so many projects. I'm just trying to see which project should I show you guys, which would be helpful for you guys and easy to understand. Okay, I think this is good. Now this is another language, Python. I mean, in my 15 years, I have worked on so many language. Each year, probably I work on some new stuff, new language, and then move on. So in technology, we have to keep learning new stuff every year. It's not like you learn something today and then your entire life is set. Technology changes, project changes, place changes, needs changes. So just to cope up with those needed stuff, you need to learn more and more. So here we are seeing the example that it was a try catch block. So we removed this try catch and we have added this simple PyMongo client which is trying to get the rules. So this is called as delta. So these are called as commit. Now each commit, this is each commit basically, and each commit has some different files, and once you click on each file it shows you the delta of that file. Essentially what is added and what is removed from that file. So someone or you yourself, if you have to read or understand your code, that how it started, so everything will start with an initial commit, then one by one you will keep on adding some of the changes and then you will describe what you have done. So let's say if you have added exception handling for file, so how you are trying to add that exception handling, then you're trying to do some refactoring of the code. So that's how you guys will work on whatever projects you will work. Whatever addition or whatever you will do in that particular commit, you will make changes for that. So this is how your GitHub desktop would look like, and it will have your all commits and codes. Now we will try to do the fork of the repository. So now in the practical session, what you are going to do is you will create a fork. I will make you understand what is fork from Git repo. I know this is too fast, but actually Git itself will take at least 10 sessions if we'll go slow and understand each stuff. 10 to 15 session, but we don't have luxury of time. We have to learn everything, the concept and some hands-on, so that we can learn entire thing within less time. And then once you will get some job or some interview, whatever, prepare, so you can let people know. So you will take 1 hour session from me, but you have entire day to practice. So feel free to dig deep into that and come back and ask questions. Right now, please go to this repository. I wish we could do some Skype group or some group wherein I can just quickly paste link and you guys can click. So it would be faster, but that's fine. So once you go to my repository, you have to write TESIG in design pattern.
You can paste the link in the mess chat box, sir, if you
Yeah,
want to paste it.
we can do that. That is fine. So now we'll go to repositories. Inside the repositories, design patterns. Okay, so please click this and try to create a fork. I believe from the last session that you have Eclipse or any IDE on your local box. So we'll clone or download this entire source, and we'll try to set it up and run it. This will be our practical session starting now on. So once you will click this, if you are logged in, then click on the fork. So what is the concept of fork? I will tell you. So what happens that there is one branch. Now inside that branch, someone wants to contribute. So big frameworks one work in this way, the Linux, the Spring or whatever. So people create their own fork and then they make some changes, make it stable. Then they have to submit it back. Let me open some diagram. So we'll just create a simple diagram. This is an important concept, how open source industry work, how people contribute and collaborate. So let's say this is a Spring Framework repository, just taking example. And you are a very sharp developer. Of course you are, but let's assume that you are very sharp developer. Now you want Spring Framework, you say, hey, Framework does not have this capability and I want to add it in. So there are too many sharp people like you guys, and they also want to do something good and contribute back to the open source frameworks. So what these guys will do, they will create a fork of the main repository, which is, let's say, Spring. So I'm give of in this example we are going to fork the design patterns of Java repository. So you will create your own copy of that repository. Once you will have that, you will make changes, and then once you say, okay, I think the design pattern is good, it should have three more patterns or three more examples, or there were bugs in some examples, you try to run it locally. So you fix those bugs and you want to get the fix pushed here. So until and till the time it is in the fork, now this fork will remain on the cloud itself. So once you have to take it in the laptop, this is how you will clone. And what diagram should I keep for laptop? Let's try to find if we have something. Okay, let us try to keep this. So this one is the local box wherein you will make the changes. So so there is intermediate fork. So this is your remote repository, your own copy of the design patterns repository or Spring Framework repository. And then you will make changes here. Then you will push it into remote fork. And once it is ready, then you will create a pull request. Now here the concept which we are trying to understand is that of pull request. So let me turn this around like this. So this will be pull request. So we'll just try to do one small cycle just for practice. You mess up, it doesn't, it doesn't matter. So were you guys able to go up to this page on all your local boxes? If yes, then please click the fork here. Click on this fork. So as soon as you guys do that, we would be able to see the reflection over here. Mohan, so I see Mohan, and then Divyang, Ashwani, Karthik, Nari P. Is it Narendra you? Is it you, Narendra? And RKK. Let me see who is RKK. Two contributions. So whenever you do a push or commit, this goes here with the contributions. I don't know who is RKK. Rakesh. No, so I think this is not you. This is some Rakesh. Let me try and see Mohan. So Mohan has Mohan projects, which is good, and one Prem Asim. Okay. In Mohan project, he has just started. So GitHub channel on YouTube, whatever. Spurti and Naren, can you please speak up?
Yes, sir.
So were you able to create GitHub login? Okay, Spurti. So Spurti's stuff is also there. Naren, can you also do it, or is it you, Naren P? Nari P. You're Naren Reddy, right? go on mute. There is a lot of background noise.
Yeah, that's me, sir.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So awesome job. Like, so you guys are understanding, you're trying to follow. Now next step is we need to make these things run. So you need to clone it, right? So what you will do, okay, let me take just example for, let's say, Mohan, right? So Mohan, you go here. So this one would be your own fork. Then say clone or download. So once you do clone or download, there are two options. Try to say open in desktop. So once you do open in desktop, it will open this thing entirely in the GitHub desktop tool. So I'll just wait. You guys, I believe you might have downloaded the GitHub desktop. If not, I will just ping the link. Download it first.
Can you please show me one, sir?
Yeah, sure. So this one is, so you need to clone right now on the cloud. You have got the copy. Now you have to say clone or download. So once you do clone, one option is you can download it in the zip format, but that is not the developer or a coder way, smart coder, right? That, so once you will get zip, you can unzip and do the code. What we are going to do here is we will open it in desktop. Once we do desktop, it will ask which location and what, then it will take care of everything. So just to download the GitHub desktop, you guys have to go to this desktop.github.com and download desktop for your platform if it's Windows or Mac, and install it. It will not take more than 2 minutes. Meanwhile you are doing that, okay, let me,
Yeah, we did that, sir.
okay, awesome. So now can you guys, just a moment, keep show and keep in dock. Okay. So now can you please open it in desktop and let me know if you are able to see that in your GitHub desktop, so we can start setting it up. So now we have to understand the concept of clone. Clone,
Yeah, we are able to see that.
what about Spurti and Naren?
Yeah, I'm Narendra. Like I am able to see that, sir. My
I'm
desktop.
also able to see.
So it is on your local, right? It is on your local. Have you cloned it on your local? We can also chat. I mean, we can also chat uh, on the through voice command or something like the text chatting. So once you go there, you have to say, okay, clone. Now clone in which location? So I am sure in Windows there will be some home or something. So I have a home. Inside the home, I will make a folder called as design pattern, and then I'll say clone. As soon as I say clone, it will start cloning. Cloning is the copying process. As soon as it gets cloned, you will see a repository here with all the commits. Each commit will have certain number of files inside it. So these are the files. Let's say MVC design pattern. So each pattern will have some of the files. So we'll try to run one Java code for the any of the design pattern. Probably we'll set it up properly. So I'll show you how to do it in my editor. Same thing follows for NetBeans, and same thing goes for whatever you are using. I am using NetBeans. So I
So we didn't get the option of cloning in this.
You didn't get option. Were you able to log it? Okay, just a moment. Let us go little bit slow. Sorry, I am moving bit faster. So once you came here on your own repository, let's say this one Spurti and then slash design pattern. After that you don't, and you're logged in like this, and you don't see this button, clone or download.
We got that, sir.
Okay. So once you click here, and have you installed your GitHub desktop on your machine?
Yes, we did, sir.
Okay. And then once you say open in desktop, it doesn't show in there.
Uh, well, actually, it is shown just as a GitHub, and I have got a design pattern subheading in that application, sir.
Okay. So if you click on this, what happens? Once you click on the open in desktop, what happens then?
It just asked or in which location. I selected GitHub and I clicked on OK, sir.
Okay, awesome. So now what is happening there?
uh, I have I have my GitHub opened, and I have filter repositories. Below that, I have GitHub, and design patterns is being showed as a branch or something with a branch or something.
Okay, awesome. So I think you are in the right direction, and I hope Naren and Mohan they. So ideally, sweet spot is once we are able to get this view, wherein once you click on here, your design pattern, your
Yeah,
right.
hi sir. Like actually, I'm also at the same location Spurti said, but after clicking on design patterns, I'm not getting any commits here.
Okay. Can you please see you are on master or where are you on master?
Master, I'm at pray machine slash master.
I am not sure what. Okay, let's do it little bit differently. So you guys know command prompt little bit, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's try to go through your command prompt DES design patterns. Wherever is your wherever you have cloned it, just go there and do a CD on that folder and let me know what do you see there. And then write git status. So technically, if you will go there, it would show you git status on branch, whatever is the branch name, and then you will see all these different folders for each design patterns. So first thing is your git. I believe git is properly installed there. I believe so. Otherwise, just some troubleshooting might be required. So there are two commands for this. You can go and say git clone. Let's say let me go to temp, and then if I say git clone, this is the command and this is the repository. As soon as I do this, it says cloning, and then it will clone all this repository. So first you guys can just try this command git clone and then the https://github.com premium design patterns.git.
Sir, do you mind sharing our screen with you just to confirm it once?
Sure, just a moment. So Spurti, I think I have shared and made you the presenter. I'm waiting to view your screen. Okay, so this is good. I think I just saw your screen for a moment, and I have also requested your this thing, mouse controls. I made you the presenter. Okay, I am able to control your mouse machine, right? Okay, let us see your GitHub desktop. So you have this thing here. So you are on master, and you don't see any changes. You don't see the history. You see, okay. So you guys have to just go on history, and then you will start seeing all this changes, commit, mediator, design pattern, client file, whatever, air traffic controller. So Spurti, you have everything all set, nothing to be worried. You are on the right.
Okay, okay.
Fine?
Sir,
Oh,
show me
fine, sir.
once, sir,
Thank you.
what you did here.
Sure. So you have two tabs. One is history, one is changes. So just click on history, please.
Yeah, I went to history.
Fine. Now you will see everything like this. Now what we will try to do is you have to view it on in Explorer. I in Git shell basically. Let's try to open it in Git shell. So this will be your Git shell, right? So this is your master repository. So this is all the folders. So we will try to run one folder. First design pattern project or factory pattern, whatever. We can go with cd mbc mbc. Okay. So then you will find some of the classes here. Do you have Atom or anything installed, Spurti, here so that I can do?
Uh, I have net, I have NetBeans installed.
Okay. So yeah, okay, let's try to open NetBeans.
And
So we will just try to set up this entire repository. Then we will run one project, and then we will finish with whatever question answer you have today. I'll give you some simple modification or homework to try this out stuff, and then we'll continue tomorrow because I have some another my client project related call in some time. Okay, cool. So you have this, right? Now you have to create a project basically from uh, Spurti, would you mind to do? It's very sluggish from my end. I don't want to mess up your project or code. Just create one another project and give these some folder where we have cloned our design patterns repository. We have to import a Java project. File open and import a open a Java project.
do you want to open the Java project or design patterns project?
Just say open project and go to the source of design pattern. I think it is smart enough to understand. NetBeans understands it. If it doesn't understand, then we'll spoon feed it. This should be fine. Yeah, design pattern.
Yeah, what is the command that I need to enter in Git shell?
Say ls. So you will see all the projects inside it in the Git shell.
Yeah,
So you will see
yeah,
all, and then write pwd, present working directory, pwd. So once you will get to know your present working directory, you use Eclipse or what do you use?
NetBeans.
Okay, so you're Naren, right? I thought you're Mohan.
Yeah.
Fine. So in the NetBeans, you just go and start setting up. Okay, let me just tell you. So you wanted to understand this location, right? So if you did pwd, I think you might have. This is your command prompt. This is not required. Close this. This one is your Git file. Here you will do.
Can I?
Sorry. So this is the path where your project has been saved till design pattern. So this probably this the path from where you have to open it in NetBeans. PWD is short form for present working directory. Yeah, just click on this project itself. It might say it doesn't find the NetBeans file or something something. Let's wait what it says. Or just try MVC inside this model view controller. Any folder is fine. Yeah, model view controller. Now try to open project SRC.
I think it's not.
Okay, no worries. We'll try to import it then.
Yeah.
It's not able to understand this project. So we'll say new project and then we'll go up to this MVC. Close this.
Okay.
New Java project. First one.
Okay.
Java application. Try to do, okay, let's do Java application, right? You can name it as MVC. Just say MVC. Project location, project folder. From here you can browse and put that folder.
The same MVC folder.
Yeah. Okay. Now we'll do finish.
Okay, open.
Okay.
Okay. Now you have got the project properly set it up. You
Yes.
have the main also.
Yes.
So you have mvc.java and surprisingly it doesn't have anything, which is strange. Okay,
Yeah.
try to open ATC, Air Traffic Controller, inside Media tab. Oh, this is authored by Spurti. This is created for you,
Yes.
but we have to open that folder.
But we can't. But when I'm trying to open it, it is not opening.
Okay,
GitHub.
no worries. We'll troubleshoot. That is fine. Probably this structure might be.
Yeah, I found it. So
Go, yeah, click on the SRC.
click on the SRC.
Yeah, now try to open.
Open. But it's not opening.
This will be files and there will be a package
Yeah. But it's not. It's not opening.
because it is trying to open the project. That's the problem with the NetBeans, that it ties everything with the project file itself, not
Uh,
for the specific files. It doesn't look for those specific files.
can
So,
I try with brackets ID? Sir?
sorry, what?
Brackets ID.
Yeah, okay, brackets. And another thing, you know what you can do? You can just, you also have the SRC. You can just put copy and put the MVC folder here, and then you can make it run. But bracket is also fine. Bracket is mainly used for web development because it has live refresh.
Okay.
That is helpful. But let's try Java, running some Java program there. So
I
you
did
would,
get some.
yeah, you would be able to see this, but I don't
Yes.
know how you are able to compile and run it. Let's try. Open the client file, client for MVC. Here, this file
Client for MVC access.
first. Yeah, Now, how would you run this?
I would run this kind of.
This, okay. This is live
Oh,
preview. This is
it
for
is
web
crash.
development.
Yeah.
This won't work because you need Java platform to run this, right?
Okay, I would copy the whole GitHub into that.
Yeah, you can just copy the folder, whatever is the source code in MVC folder inside your project. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, from SRC. Yeah, this com folder.
Only com folder.
Yeah, only com folder. Go to wherever your NetBeans stuff is there.
Yeah,
MVC.
this
Yeah,
this
put
is the
it here.
one.
Put it here. Yeah, right.
Copy
Now
to.
see in your NetBeans. Okay, you have got the source package, and then you have got this file, right? Now,
Yes.
first go to your MVC file. First go to your MVC. Go up, yeah.
Yeah.
Inside
I
here,
am here.
write
Yes.
system.out.println hello world and run it. System.out.println. Okay, right click run. So it is successful. Now run client for MVC access of student. Okay, so it works. Now it is saying what do you want to retrieve from employee record? Plus 1 to synchronize model from DB, 2 to load the view, 3 to submit. Okay, this is fine. You can press 1.
Oh,
So it takes input and enter. Press 1 further, 0 to exit. Okay, this is just a menu. So it was just an example. But your program, we are able to run it, right? We are 5
yes.
minutes over. So Naren, are you able to get to this wherein you are able to clone it and then run it?
Yeah, no, sir, I'm facing a problem, but I will ask Spurti and will do that.
Okay. So tomorrow, once we will start, I would like, and Mohan, what about you?
Yes, sir. I will once again check the video and I will do it.
Okay, so I will send you the video recording. Try to follow exact step and then run. So tomorrow once we start session, I want you guys to run at least MVC pattern on your local and try to understand the code, and then we'll make some more modifications tomorrow and push it in the Git. I will send you one Git doc link. So please do Google and learn it from any tutorial where some theory material. So once we'll in this session, it would be more productive. So what you are planning to do tomorrow is you will make some changes in the code file. You will do the commit, then you will do the push from the repository. We'll save the changes, and then you all of you have to make the pull request. So read through it. So it will save your time tomorrow, and we can move faster. Fine. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for all your cooperation and ramping up so fast. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.